Okay, this is going to be video number 44 on your Firearms Defense channel. I'm going to get right into home security here and talk about the security of my home a little bit. The first thing is, there's one of the windows that I have on the west side of my house. They're all just about like that, and these are old windows, about 50 years old or whatever, and contrary to what you might think, they're relatively secure because somebody would have to climb up and into them and break those out and climb in through them and get over a bunch of stuff that I have here right below them. So it wouldn't be as easy to get in those as you might think. Now, that's a bigger window. That's a picture window they built back in the era this house was built. Now, I wouldn't have that if it would have been my choice and I would have got this house built, but once again, that's a lot more secure than it actually looks, because to get in those, you've got to break the glass and get the window open, and I can't even open those things from the inside. And once again, you have to crawl over a bunch of stuff when you get in. So continue on here. These windows in my middle room are about the same way. They're relatively small windows. They're high up off the ground. You'd have to crawl over a bunch of stuff when you got in. So you'd make a lot of noise doing that. Bathroom windows are kind of the same way. Those would be a little easier, but they're still fairly secure. These are the bedroom windows. You can see I got a chest of drawers in my chest blocking that window totally. That one, it's the same thing. It's partially blocked. It wouldn't be that easy to get into. That's a bathroom window. You can see all these are older style windows, and they got some security on the inside here. There's a window over in the corner there. That's the one that's probably the most vulnerable, but even at that, it isn't that bad, because you'd have to make a lot of noise to break the glass and get in those and knock the locks off and stuff like that. Now, next thing I want to show you is one of my doors here as a sample. This is the typical entry door. Now, let's fantasize for a little. Hey, that was my alarm. It just went off. I just tested it. Ha ha ha. Well, actually I didn't test it. I forgot I had it on. But my alarm does work anyway. So for what it's worth, I do have an alarm. So anyway, this is your typical entry door in a lot of ways. It has a lock here. It has a lock down there. Now, if somebody wants in your house, let's fantasize and say you're a drug dealer. You keep a couple of $100,000 in cash, and the home invasion team decides they want to do a home invasion at 3 a.m. and get in your house and surprise you and take all your drug money and stuff. What the home invasion team is going to do is probably come to your back door here, and they're probably either going to pick these locks, which will probably take about a minute. Now, there are locksmiths that work in that industry that have experience as being a locksmith. It's like everything else. There's probably home security people, ex-home security people, and probably ex-cops and ex-locksmiths and everybody else that knows all this good information and now works in the crime industry because for one reason or another they decided to turn into that field. Now, maybe that's being a little paranoid, but if you think things like that don't happen, you know, you're probably not being realistic. Now, somebody could pick these locks with a pick in about a minute. There's also something called the bump key, which somebody would just drive in here with a couple of taps and tap it right in and open your lock right up and get right in. Now, so somebody could get in your back door if you're a drug dealer with a couple of $100,000 cash, or a homeowner with a couple of $1 million worth of paintings and stuff like that, and somebody wanted in, they could get in a locked door in just about 30 seconds. So that's that door. And by the way, if anybody's wondering, that is a pet door down there. Now, to be truthful, that's probably vulnerable. A person could probably crawl in that pet door if they wanted to. But if somebody wants to meet the Rottweiler on the other side, good for them. Okay, having said that, here's how I secure my door. That is a 2-inch eye bolt. It's about 1 inch long. That's driven into a stud there. That's a 1/8 inch cable that's clamped together with those 4 clamps there. That's the 4-inch hook I showed you earlier that hooks into another eye bolt that's screwed into the door. The door itself is kind of a semi-solid core door. You can see it's got a lot of wood there. It's not a hollow core door, so screwing that thing in there did some good. So that's how I secured the one door. Now, as I say, it does have that pet door down there, but somebody would have to make a lot of noise to kick that in. So, okay, let's go to the front door here. Excuse me, sweetie. Yeah. Okay, this front door here isn't actually too bad because neighborhood people are always coming by putting junk on your door. As you can see here, I have a security door there, which helps a whole lot. That's real good to have. Those are my ADT signs here. You just heard my ADT alarm go off a minute ago. Now that's secured right there by this Celastic sealant that you buy at Home Depot, and I secured it there with that, and that's right where it should be. It's right there warning people that I have security. Close that back up. Here on this door is the other similar thing that I have that secures that. Now you can see that's pretty substantial. Once again, this is a relatively solid core door. It'll open about that far. Now, once somebody gets it open about that far, the purpose that's going to serve, now it's not going to keep anybody out if they want in bad enough, but the function that's going to serve is that they'll have to hit my door twice to get it open. Now, the kitchen door, I wasn't able to do anything like that because I couldn't find a stud in this wall that I thought would be useful, and I've got the stove right there anyway. And I've got these windows right here, which aren't anything great and wonderful. I don't like having them there, but they are what they are, and I'm claustrophobic, so I don't want to put a solid core door there. This thing has the usual lock and stuff. Now, I had to supply a little imagination for this one. For this one, I got these 2 bolts right there. And what these things do, I cut little notches out of here and out of here. And what these things do is those bolts go into holes that I drilled here. So by supplying a little imagination, and these 2 units right here, now these aren't as strong as my other ones. They don't have the big screws and stuff like that. But where these would be useful, somebody would have to break my window, and then they'd have to pull this door out and pull them out of off the screws, because this thing opens out. So by using a little imagination, I've been able to secure these doors in a reasonable fashion. So, okay, I'm 9 minutes and 19 seconds into this, so I'm going to cut this off right here and make another shorter video and make it about the same subject.